Alright, hello. I'm gonna close my window a little bit. This is a large amount of wind. Beautiful day here. We had like um we had like an 80, it's like 88 degrees Fahrenheit. Way too hot for me. Now it's down to 60, which is nice. We get these wild temperature swings, which is a little less nice. What are we doing today? This is the Worth the Candle Exclusions document, stream number 40, or it should be. We're going to do Parsemont, and that might be it. I might just do Parsemont today. I was looking at the calendar, and if it's Parsemont today, then on the 5th, which is Monday. Oh, I might not stream Monday because that's Labor Day. Okay, so then we'd have Tuesday, would be some other one, would be the jurisdiction, and then the day after that, because there are 3 exclusions left to write. I might do Gates of Laron. I might also do Bostrovino. Like, if I have time to do them. Like, this one I just don't want to do. Cadian needs to be done. But I don't really want to do it. So this Carolism I don't really want to do. And I have labeled that not doing. But I might switch Gates of Laron back. I've had 2 people say that they wanted that. But so looking at the calendar, I do have enough time before I leave for my trip. I do have enough time to do those, and then I will probably keep streaming and just do the to-dos until those are done, and then not edit on stream because that's super, super boring. Like, more boring than the writing processes. Parsemont, easy, cannot be peasy. But actually probably should, given its... I think it should take the name from something else. Oh, it can be peasy. Okay. It is, well, it's one path to the other side. It's not like the path. Because Uther obviously ends up there through other means. You know, if this is going to be the PEZ, we could have had the towers shaped like giant Pez dispensers. So I did I stayed up late last night, which is why I'm streaming late. It's mentioned once as an exclusion zone. Otherwise, I would just not have it be that. And there's not really a need for it to be an exclusion zone. But I don't know. So that one's I'm gonna say in the maybe, and then I just do one more. That'd be 67 total, which is like 7 more than I said there would be, and more than are listed in the in Worth the Candle itself. Okay, so I did some like rereading. I wanted to read this part because I was thinking, like, how does this like jewel thing mechanically work? Okay. Sorry, I'm just reading this. Okay. That did not clarify anything, which I didn't expect it to. There was... Yeah, this is what I wanted, which was right below it. Okay, there... Alright, that's all I'm gonna read about that, I guess. Um, yeah, this one I put off for a long time, but I don't actually think it's that bad. And I put it off because, it's like an early one, it's in the story, it's, I think, under-described in the story. I'd originally planned for them to go back to Parsemont at some point, and just due to the nature of serial writing, just never happened. Um, don't always get to your plans, I guess. But I think that left Parsemont like not half done, but less fleshed out than I would have liked. I don't really want to do it here, but it needs to be done. Um, okay, so 229 FE. It was given that date, and I did that last night. I was given that date because this is like a late Utherian intervention. I need to think about that a little bit. This is why I don't like the story once as much. Is because you need to like fit them into place with like every single other piece of information known. And a lot of that work is boring work instead of interesting work. It's interesting when you are finding connections you didn't even know was there, and you like are revealing things about characters or revealing things about the setting, or you have something to say about some aspect of something that has come before, and the introduction of this thing, or expounding on an exclusion can add something. And then a lot of the work is just making sure dates line up, which is not which is a super boring aspect of writing these. I feel like there's a blog post in there, but I guess I'm not behind on writing. There's just like a ton of stuff that I have been trying to write lately. So no, not Paramount. And I don't think I'm just going to check here. Parsimont is not tied to an existing magic system. Okay, so this. In this case, it's going to be squishy, and I did read that, and I was like, oh, why is that? In this case, I think it's early installment weirdness, but the justification for it, like, okay, so Juniper designed it with hard border because in God Game, and I'm gonna just go. I'll go back to this. This is what is clearly Ireland, but like in if I were making a real game that people had to look at, I would not have this just be Ireland. Um, but in the setting that this was pulled from, which is this was the democracy of Coleraine, was like right here, and then Sidium is like right here. There's the continent of Witters, which is on like a tilt, and the reason it was a hard border is because all these kingdoms were like magical kingdoms, like they were magically defined kingdoms, and so if you went, so the borders were magically defined, so you went across a hard border, it was like that. The question for the exclusions document is the exclusions feel like they have a hard border. I think that is not. I think that's just not always the case. The other way to do that, if I want to say exclusions always have a hard border, like a hard limit beyond which the exclusion cannot pass, is that most of the like voting power is concentrated in a specific area, and so, or it like takes you some time to integrate into the voting system. I'm not going to worry about it too much, but I did read that line about it, the border being squishy, and I was like, huh. Um, and yeah, there's a bunch of. I'll scroll down a little bit. There's a bunch of stuff that I just like pulled from the document. Not from Worth the Candle and from other stuff. That is either stated or implied in the text. With the successor to the crown. Um, okay, I can already feel this one being a slow one, which is why I'm just doing one today. But then very, very close to the end of this. Not close to the end of the document, and close to the end of first pass through all exclusion zones that I'm going to be doing. No, it is not. It is not currently bloodline restricted, which I'll get to. Yeah, the idea I had was that it was a bloodline magic and became not a bloodline magic after a certain um, threshold or point was reached. I like the idea of like integer overflow or underflow on the specific bloodline magic. I don't know. I don't know if that works, but I will. I will get there because it's not a bloodline magic within Worth the Candle, right? It needs to not be a bloodline magic by that time. Um, Oh, how it worked by then is anyone can vote. Or no, how it worked back then was anyone in the area could vote. Um, just not be elected. So if you got close enough to one of these guys, you would feel that kind of like divot in your head with a bunch of jewels. You could pass them off to the to whoever, I guess. One word, huh? Um, each vote. Alright. It's the thing I hate about living in the suburbs. People are always mowing their lawn, and I always have to hear it through my window. And it's like every single day there's someone mowing their lawn. They would all coordinate and do it on the same day. Or just not mow their lawn so much. I have neighbors who like mow their lawn as like their hobby, which I do not get. Okay, each vote pushing them further to, so the power specifically of the Abswith and the Bendon in Worth the Candle. Here. I think wielding a Buster Sword is the only thing we actually see. But like a flying brick without the flying seems lame. So I'll think about that. I mean, maybe it is just like destructive magical power. I feel like if you avoid super strength. Here, I'm gonna see how often super strength. Super strength does not show up. Does strength show up? Uncontrolled super strength. Okay, someone who's been paying attention to exclusions, can someone tell me if there's like, if this would be the first time using super strength? I feel like I've avoided it because I don't like it, but it should show up at least once and is implied. Because the Abswith in Worth the Candle, it says he has a giant, like enormous heavy sword that he swings around like it's nothing. Oh, Pi Shep does, yeah. Alright, well, I think I might just go with super strength here. Because constriction is... Sorry. Gold magic is technically super strength. Okay, there's a few super strengths, so... I mean, gold magic is technically not super strength. Gold magic, if you... Sure. See, to me, those are, like, interesting... Like, Pi Shep is the closest to what I mean when I talk about just, like, power equals... Well, this is, like... There needs to be not... There needs to not be any difference between the two of them. They're just voted on. There's not a good king and a bad king. This is just I don't know. This is one of those times where I wish GPT-3 were good at doing powers generation. And unfortunately is not. So I'm gonna spend like 5 minutes trying to generate something. But it has to be able to lift a Buster Sword, which is Um, which is a problem. Oh man. Here, I'll put this on screen. This kind of dumb stuff. A lot of these just suck. I think it's just flying brick. I think that's what I'm going with. Molecular inhibition. It could be weight control, yeah. I think I'm just gonna have them be generic. Well, no, I hate that. I say generic, and I just am like, no, we can do better. Sure. Well, we'll do weight control, which is a form of weight control is a form of super strength. But like, how is that going to look to people outside? It's just going to look like super strength. Like, what are like the? So let's say that you're building a superhero, and you decide that they're going to have weight control instead of super strength. Like, how is that functionally going to be different? Oh, heavy is the head that wears the crown. That's good. All right, fine. It's weight control, but it's weight control used basically as super strength. So, So how does Uther fit in? Uther comes in at a time. This is like late Utherian. Maybe we don't attach a 29 FE thing to this. Maybe the magic is just excluded naturally. There's a different one that is pre-Utherian. Maybe that's the thing that makes it a... Alright, let me find proto-exclusion. Maybe I do want to change that. Alright, I'm going to leave 29 FE for now, but, like... If you say it has squishy borders, you just call it proto-exclusion. Like, maybe it's not excluded. Maybe this is not actually an exclusion. I don't know if that's better or worse. Like, it makes it different. And then we just say, like, maybe this is just a regional effect. Maybe this is not actually an exclusion. feel like this is mentioned somewhere else. Q&A maybe? Okay, parse one is not in there at all. This is from an... I mean, the answer for where the towers came from, I guess it's not in the text, but Juniper's like, oh yeah, this is from like a different world. So the different worlds are the disjoint planes. Like most of things that were different worlds would be from the disjoint planes. So if I were doing a long list of the disjoint planes, which I'm absolutely not going to do, there would just be a note saying that that's where Wither got these from. Um, Yes. It is mentioned, yeah, right there. Um, okay. I think we just remove the bloodline stuff then. Maybe, I don't know. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna think about that. Um, no, thanks for the wishes. Yeah, it's not. I knew going in that one was not gonna be my favorite one to write. I think it's going okay. I did. There's like a special amount of reconciliation needed for this one, in part because I did not make very good notes for myself. This section of Worth the Candle was written when I was still in my basement, making notes on. I just had like a shitty little laptop, and I would always like make notes on my yellow legal pad or on the dry erase table. So so yeah, this was written like 5 years ago, or the Parsmont stuff from in Worth the Candle was written 5 years ago. Now this entry is like not 5 years ago, but it's 4 years ago, but it's late, so we'll see. Yeah, I've been enjoying streaming. This is stream number 40. Um, I might. There's a possibility I'm going to do some like actual prose instead of this like world building doc or supplemental material stuff. But I would need to find the right project for that. Ideally, something, and then like ideally, it would just be like able people would be able to read it because reading something on stream is not, I don't think, the best experience. I've never done it, but um the full power of the apps with. Weight control is weird because weight isn't like. Oh no, that's not what I want. I don't want weight management. Because weight isn't. Gives rides the downward force. Sorry, I just need to do some science reading. So if you can manipulate only that, you're not manipulating mass. Okay. Like, mass control is better. The power granted, is that of weight control? Oh, I just had a thought. Okay, I need to... I'll try to work those in. What was the other one? Weight training. Maybe I'll just have a note from Juniper that has like a whole bunch of puns in it. Fine. Especially. The towers of probity and perfidy. If you want to know what it does, it's just down here. That'll probably be in a note. It is one thing the entry needs, but it's the reason that I'm going with this here is that like precise nature is not known is because Juniper says, or the Abswith says in conversation with Juniper, that it's a poorly kept secret. And I want the exclusions doc to reflect that. And I think it's a note from Raven. I gotta clean up this bloodline thing. I'm writing a so I'm writing on Twitch, but so I wrote a web serial called Worth the Candle, which is 1.6 million words. Finished that last year. This is an exclusions document. It's like a world building document that's got approximately 70 places of adventure and stuff. It's meant to be kind of a D&D supplement type thing that you could use it as, or if you just like these like little mini stories, each one's about 1,000 words or so. So it's at 50, almost 58,000 words for 66 entries, 64, something like that. But yes, I will probably do some prose writing on Twitch, but then I will want to make sure it's a project that I am okay with people reading in an unfinished state. I don't know what that's going to be. I also don't know if that's a good idea, but for this, like if you are in for the whole stream, you'll get like one coherent story chunk because it's like usually 1,000 words or so. The Abswith. If this were any percent, I would be doing so terribly. Right, no, it is world record pace. That's true. Oh, I could get such a better time though. Like having done the route. Right, so the AI generated art for this is just honestly, if I'd started this like today instead of what, like a month and a half ago, something like that, um, I'd be in such a better place with the AI art stuff. Also, my subscription to Midjourney has run out, or is going to run out in 2 days. You know, I like childish things. I think that a lot of writing is getting over um, how you feel about it, like insecurities, and I don't know. I still feel that to some extent, but especially online where you get like such immediate feedback, and maybe like 5% of it is negative. There's people just complaining. I think that takes some processing. Um, all right, I think that's all that this is going to be. So I think that's going to be it for this one. But I need 2 notes on this. All right, that whole paragraph. It says parse one, it says city state. Okay, I will change that. And we will remove that. What is the difference between a city-state and a kingdom? Like, in practical terms. Like, at what point is your city... Like, because a city-state sometimes has, like, a region outside the city, which is part of the city-state, right? You have city-states that aren't just, like, everything within the city limits. I don't know. I think about, like, a modern city... Like, is it... Okay. Let me just, with its surrounding territory. What does that mean, though? No, a city-state can't have a king. I mean, the Vatican City is one. Proposed city-states. Yeah, I mean, it's a state that is the size of a city, but it can also include the surrounding areas. I mean, king is just a loose term. I mean, it's not a loose term, but it's like you can declare yourself a king, or you can have. Okay, I will remove capital city. Or here, I'll just remove all this coal rain stuff. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'm just going to put that as to do because I don't feel like doing it right now. I'm going to get worked on these notes. You could say that the kingdom of Coleraine, like the city of Parchment, expands. Because how because like the New York City metropolitan area is largest in the world by urban landmass. Okay. What's the footprint? Oh, the area is 109 acres. Dang, that's small. How about Monaco? Monaco is 500 acres. Okay, sorry, list of nations by land area. Okay, so, the New York City metropolitan area is 4,700 square miles. So that puts it on par with Trinidad and Tobago, Cape Verde. Like, so okay, so yes, I think in history I will just change it. Well, yeah, Singapore is a bit bigger, but I'm just like, in terms of relative size. Oh, dang, Malta's small. My sister spent a year in Malta. And I never learned that much about it, in spite of that. I mean, I looked at lots of pictures and stuff, but... okay, I don't like the parentheses there, but that will work fine. That is a fine patch to that. And I do thank you for being with me as I just like cruise through Wikipedia articles. It's a very important part of the writing process is going on Wikipedia and just trying to read about things. My current understanding of a city-state is that anytime you have a city which can... Oh, I try not to read too much on the wiki stuff anyway, because it's, you know... When you're writing, you more or less want to get the gist of things. I don't think you want to read too deeply. But yes, a lot of the time when I'm trying to like how big is Parsemont, right? For stuff like that, I will always go to a comparison of some kind, and just like use that generally. So in this case, Parsemont is possibly the size of the New York metropolitan area, maybe. But I also feel like, for me personally, I can spin my wheels on Wikipedia for like an hour if I let myself, which means that the words are not getting written, and that hour is usually not helpful at all. Sometimes there's some spark of something there. I kind of feel like the exclusions are too big. Have I said that? Like, I kind of feel like the smallest exclusions should be like 10 acres. I think that would be funny. Yeah, there's a Discord bot that opens a channel between or opens a bridge between a Discord. It's actually a thread, so that people don't need to sign up for Twitch or go on Twitch. I mean, I guess you're on Twitch, but you don't need to have a Twitch account to comment and stuff. I think if I were doing it over, I would say that the smallest of the exclusions was actually much smaller, because like I think it's like 20 miles across is the smallest one, something like that, or 20 square miles, which is already like a huge amount of land compared to like a person. But yeah, I think that's one of the things I'd do differently. But I think some of that was constrained by the text, which I really don't want to make too many alterations to, and some of it's constrained by like what's described. But I'm not changing anything. I mean, we're right at the finish line. I'm not going back to change any of that. So 20 square miles. Did anything in terms of uh, helping the situation. Here, I can clarify that. It is, yes, basically. This is a long note. No. They are not lawful good and lawful evil. They are assigned roles who have these who have these towers and can use them in various ways. But the Abswith is not lawful good, and the Bendon is not lawful evil. They have these towers that give them certain senses of moral reflection and can cause moral reflection in others and are useful in that sense. Juniper talks about this a little bit in that like it didn't like going into the Tower of Good it didn't really affect him that much. He just would like notice the thoughts. And so if someone doesn't like the towers are more the towers are more tools, I guess, than Fen hated it because Fen had like not very much moral reflection. And so as soon as it was like, hey, you've done like all this evil stuff, she was like, oh god, Like, I can see all this evil stuff now. But for Juniper, it was almost nothing to him because he, you know, could see these arguments and discard them because he was familiar with them. Um, just delete this entire thing. Let's see if there are any obvious ones that I missed. I want to leaven this. Okay, I'm going to finish this up. An hour and a half for this entry is not good time. No, I want idioms. Where are my idioms? Okay. A heavy hand. All right, I'm just gonna leave that there. That's fine. Maybe I'll come back to that, but I need time and space. Okay, 1,200 words over 1.5 hours. We're gonna do this. This needs to be. Okay, so we're gonna do. Okay, add a to-do, and then I'm going to. This should be the final one. This is Cadian. Just do AI. Okay, and then that is. That's Parsemont. Gonna call it done. Gonna. Minus 1,000. Call that first pass done. So these two for next time, and then I might also do Gates of Lauron because I'm gonna have time before my vacation. Okay, I'm gonna change this to story, and then it will be counted in my stats. Here are the stats. Maybe 3 left to do. And then there's editing. There is a ton of editing to do. There's 58,000 words of editing to do. This will take, like, even reading 58,000 words is the better part of a day if I'm going slow. If I'm going, like, slow enough to catch things. So there are 25 or 26 now to-dos. So I'm just getting my calculator out. 58,000 divided by an average reading speed of 250 words per minute. Or not per minute, per... Is it per minute? Yeah, I think average reading speed, and I'm about an average reader, is 250 words per minute. I think you want to go a little bit slower, but that would be 240 minutes, which would be 4 hours to read the Exclusions doc. I think what I'm going to do is I might make a new channel or reuse an old channel on Discord and just invite a handful of people there to do rereads. But I won't do that until after I have all the to-dos done, but I might do that if you have been, like, on the stream and you've already read them all on stream. Then you will probably be invited to that, just to give it a once-over and hopefully catch mistakes. My mistake rate is 1 mistake per 1,000 words. That's roughly what it is for published chapters of Dungeons. And I want to catch as many of those. Like, that's what's caught by people reading when the chapter goes up for patrons. But I might do that. I did that for the world building document where I had, like, I think it was like 5 or 6 people to read it and give some notes and some other stuff. But that would be after. Here there are consistency issues for sure, and it has not gone through the second pass. It's true. I could write a lot more and if I just was willing to make more mistakes. That's okay. So this is Jurisdiction and Cadian. So next stream is not going to be tomorrow because tomorrow's Family Day, and I don't think it's going to be Monday because Monday is Labor Day. Although I might get away with being able to stream then if I can get... I'm going to talk to my wife about it and see what her plans are, but I think Monday is also a family day because it's Labor Day. And then Tuesday will be, I believe, next stream, unless there's a surprise stream. Okay, so thank you for joining me. It's a later stream and then, like, a longer stream, and I'm not I'm not 100% solid on this, but given everything I had to work around, I think this is fine. I just need to fix this thing. I think that it's going to be. I need to fix the proto exclusion stuff. So, but that will be a to do. I'm not going to do that now. All right. See you in two days.